Do you get what I mean? Like, there's a certain point you have to be like, okay, if you're not with me, I'm going to do it myself. And I feel like a lot of our people, they're so stuck in the mindset of the system this, the society's not for us, this and this. But what are you actually doing to make sure that you are not a victim of whatever has been is set out against us?
What's going on, people? It's your boy Yaks, and welcome to another episode of Fly on the Wall Perspective. I've got some special guests with me today. We've got Vanessa, who's come down from Liverpool to join us. We've got
Daniel.
And we got your accent.
Come on. The new Fly on the Wall family tree. So we have to start off with the murder of Elianne and Andam. So the girl that got stabbed to death in Croydon. Yeah, got killed by a 17-year-old. And she was 15, so we send our condolences to her family. Like this story here has affected like a lot of people. So you had even like police officers laying down flowers on the scene. You don't ever see that as well. So so there were the officers that attended the scene. Okay. So, it was them as well. So this is just this is a absolute like madness. What's happened? Where'd you start with this kind of stuff? It's crazy. Like, oh man.
At 15.
Yeah.
And it was what? Because the boy had flowers, right? And he asked her.
So basically, he was basically like, he got rejected by this girl, and then she was basically Elianne was basically trying to defend a friend, basically. Okay. Yeah, because he couldn't really cope with the rejection or whatever, so he ended up stabbing her basically, like in the neck.
In the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
I find that so scary though. Like, why are you walking around with a big, massive machete? It was a machete.
Was it a machete?
No, it was a Rambo. Yeah, like a zombie.
I just don't understand. What is the point?
Yeah, but that's. I know. But
what's funny is I think K-Trap has a lyric about zombie killers in his most recent thing. So I didn't even know what it was until I heard it in the song.
Okay, ZKs. Yeah. But yeah, obviously nowadays this is what these youths are rolling around with. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like machetes, isn't it? Trust me, they're easier to conceal in public. Like than you think. You know what I'm saying? So
they feel that unsafe in their ends to have to carry around a knife. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day. Yeah, people talk about, what's the solution? You know what I'm saying? What's the solution? Cool. It's like, you can talk solutions all day, innit? You know what I'm saying? All day long. But my thing is, you can't stop someone, stepping out of their house, like, with a knife. Like, that is impossible. You know what I'm saying? We've got to look at other, obviously, factors that are involved. There's a lot of people. Like, for example, the prison population, most prisoners come from like a single household, you know what I'm saying? Single parent household. And, stuff like that. And actually 61% of prisoners have children as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So, obviously, most people are not locked up in it, you know what I'm saying? This is a prison population, but the people who are locked up, and most of them have kids.
Correct. It's a cycle.
Yeah. Like it's like most are actually under 18 as well. Yeah. Looked it up yesterday. So, but yeah, this killing is just, bro. It's like it just looks bad on black people. It looks bad on black youth. Obviously. Like, we shouldn't care about what other groups of people think. But at the end of the day, look, listen, like, black people are a minority in this country. And black youth are stabbing each other at a disproportionate rate. You know what I'm saying? So there's obviously a problem. Yes, obviously most of the violence that goes on in this country is obviously done by white people. We live in a white majority country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like with the way like the community now, it's like you're seeing these community leaders are coming out. You know, there's so much initiatives out there and to try and like combat knife crime. You know, but ultimately it's something that you can't like prevent. You know, ultimately. So like I hate to say it like that.
I think the solution is like if you implement something, you probably won't see the changes till like maybe 5 to 10 years from now. Like if you're really trying to change it, I don't think it'll just like it's not just a 2-year thing. So I get what you mean, but you can't just say, "Oh, stop using knives." Cause you can't stop them.
And as you guys mentioned as well too, it starts from at least the household.
Yeah,
absolutely the household. But when you look at it in the bigger perspective, the music, the country, what it's actually doing to the youths as well too.
Yeah.
So majority of all these situations that's taking place, household. What's the parents actually teaching the kids at home? What the kids actually not learning from home? They say, let's go to the streets. The bigger youths, they're at least my father figure. Yeah. They're teaching me a bit of something as well too.
Yeah, because usually, you know, the case is like most of us like grew up fatherless. You know what I'm saying? I had a dad in my life, innit? Like he hasn't always been there, and that, you know, there was a point where my mum had to move us out, you know, because of my dad, innit? But you know what I'm saying? My dad's been in my life. But like if I think about all my friends, most of my friends grew up without a dad. Like is that the same with you? Like
not really. No. And I know a lot of people like to say like, oh, you need to find a solution, but obviously just like pinpointing what you've just touched on, like looking at the household, looking at the other factors that may have made them act like that. So I literally had this like idea ages ago. So it was about actually like racism. Okay. But I was like, it was so bizarre, but I was like, oh my God, like somebody could have a show. Bear with me, let me land. Yeah. Someone could have a show, right? Have all these like racist people, right? Sit them down and just like get to understand where their like hate comes from. Do you know what I mean? Like pinpoint where it comes from. Mm-hmm. So like similarly for these kids that are out here like with the knives and whatnot, literally get to study them, get to study why the hell they feel they need to resort to this violence, and find different patterns or different trends of what makes them do that, and then from there get a solution from that. And also I know a lot of people like to say, because that wasn't the question you said, is it the same for me? Have I seen a lot of people in single households and stuff?
Most of your friends do they have fathers?
Yes, they do. I think my friends, my group of friends, have been lucky in doing so, but also that's not an excuse. I'm not gonna lie to you. It really isn't. Like you can decide to be different from what you've been brought up.
Because at the end of the day, the law is the law.
Yeah.
You know? There's always when it comes to sentencing, you know, there's gonna be like character references or, you know, mitigating 100%. Factors as to why you know he might have committed. You know, but listen, you're going in jail for 20 odd years basically. The law's saying, look, we don't care. You committed this crime, you're gonna get punished for it.
Yeah.
Like ultimately. Do you know what I'm saying? So. And and with you, Daniel, so growing up, did most of your friends have a father present?
It was a mix. I think I would say when I went to school in Ghana, most of my friends had dads, but I guess it was a bit more common here. So I'd say that's probably not that surprising now that I see what the demographics like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't want to go on a tangent too long.
No,
just remember.
Go on one.
I'm from the Caribbean. St. Martin as well too, and most of the friends we got fathers.
Yeah.
My father was present, you understand, but he wasn't present, if that actually makes sense. So I want everyone to actually like think what I'm trying to say, like dive deep in what I mean.
Can you elaborate a bit?
He's there, but my father's not there. So I'm actually, because in a nutshell, guys, my mother and father, they broke up.
Yeah.
But my father is still there in my life.
Yeah.
So even there's not a man in the household. My mother's there, my sister's there. So at the same time, I still have to look after my mom and my sister and still be a man of like, you know what? I gotta have a sense in this house of and this road of what I'm doing because loads of shit goes on. Come on, loads. But like back to what you asked, fathers were there in my friend's life, absolutely. Because most of them passed away. I would say they passed away, but they're still there. So that still shouldn't give anyone the ammunition to say like, you know what? I don't got a father. I gotta act a certain way. No, my guy, you don't have to act a certain way because many people, fathers, passed away and it still turns out absolutely perfect. Perfect. So people just looking for an excuse in society and what they see outside, you know, I gotta act a certain way because of this.
No, of course.
So
No,
does that say that there's something different going on here?
See, there's a system as well. The system plays a big part of it. There's been incentives, you know, for the government to for women to not have a man in the house. Why is there obviously in America as well? We've got mass incarceration. There's always an agenda to take the man out of the house. Why?
Yeah, because I don't think men make any more money in those countries than here. So I don't know why.
The government, they know if you have a man, that is not in the house, you know, that's in jail or you know, or whatnot, there ain't gonna be no a masculine figurehead there to you know to really look. A man has to play a part in raising the child, and so does a woman. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a joint effort. You know. Yeah. But there is why is there a correlation between people who have grown up, you know, in a single parent household, you know, between that and then being in prison?
There's definitely a correlation there.
Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, prisons is a business, but obviously that's another. That must be do you know what I'm saying? That's another story. And this, you know, children going out of fatherless, that can lead to very, you know, many different roads. You know, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then ultimately, it's just gonna make it's gonna have a detrimental effect on society. So it's what is the government insinuating? you know what I'm saying? Exactly. What is the government is not your friend. You know what I'm saying? So there's a system, even with the foster care system as well, taking kids, you know, quick to take kids out the house. You know, a lot of people in jail as well, you know, obviously come from foster homes, and you know imagine that kind of pain is just unimaginable. You know what I'm saying? Imagine growing up to find out oh shit, my parents abandoned me. You know, so there is obviously trauma at play as well, which you know which we can't negate at the end of the day. Sorry,
I think obviously when it comes to the if a child came from a foster home, that's kind of slightly different because obviously you don't know how closely they were looked after because it's not really they're not really being taken care of by their biological parents per se. But back to this whole household issue, I just feel like it needs to be now. And I know we love saying that the government is this and they put us in a terrible situation as a people and stuff like that. And I'm not dismissing that. Don't get it twisted because it does. Exactly. But at the same time, you need to take control of your life. You need to take control of what's going on because the government are there. Yeah, they have a standard policy of how society is supposed to run, but they don't have individual rules for every household. So I feel like as a parent, and obviously like you said before, it's a job for the mom and the dad. Fair enough, okay, the dad is not there, okay, and of course it's unfortunate because the child should have both parents, but as a mom or as a dad, because there's single fathers out there as well, what are you doing to make sure that your child isn't now another statistic in the news about gun violence or knife crime and stuff like that? I feel like as parents you need to actively raise your child, like you said before, not just be present because you have that title as the father or the mother. I think actively raise the child.
So a lot of parents failing their children. basically.
In a way, because like you said, it starts in the household. Because like as when a child is growing up, you don't really know any different. You just up until obviously you reach a certain point, but everything that you learn, your foundation is from the household. So if the parents are not giving you that information first, there's nothing to build on.
Yeah.
Do you get what I
don't
mean?
think, because you spend a lot of your time, especially when you get to like early teen years, outside of the house. That's why they say it takes a village to raise a child. So I think we need like a strong sense of community in those areas, so that like if you see
London's not like that.
that's what like.
No, but the thing
See,
is,
that's why it's different in the Caribbean and in Africa.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They really live by that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If your
Even up
neighbours
north,
see-
you know, where you're from.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
up
Liverpool
north,
is
we
a
ride
different.
for
There's
us.
more of a community
We ride for
feel.
us.
If your
Yeah.
neighbour sees you acting up, they'll tell your mum or they'll check you there themselves. Yeah, it's like,
I know those ones.
What?
At least someone from the Caribbean, I know them ones. I know.
Snitching on you.
What was that? What back in Congo? Like, if your child here is acting rude in public, yeah, bro, they can get a stranger here
Exactly.
to slap up his youth.
Hey, your mum will dap them up, like, yeah,
And the auntie's intervening. It's actually
Listen.
Do you feel like that can happen here? Hey, people go in prison.
My
They're going to prison.
So, well, then that's a solution then, because you said there's not a sense of community here in London. That's a solution.
'Cause-
If you work on the community and work
Yeah.
together, that kind of like slowly.
But they literally cut a lot of the funding to community centres, I think, a few years ago.
There we go.
And then the
Again.
knife crime stats started.
Right. Well, so
So it's like-
what's the government insinuating?
Exactly.
Like-
They had, like, these kids had nothing to do.
What environment are you trying to create here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can't. They'll never say outright we're racist. Like, no, real racism is through laws. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And mindsets through individuals. Just remember, we need to understand we can't scream that Caucasians in this country, everyone's racist. You need to understand why certain systems the way they are.
Yeah.
So if we're running around, I gotta blame the government for everything. Okay, you can go ahead and blame the government for everything, but it starts from home, the mindset. So just like you say, the system sets everything up in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
what it's supposed to be.
It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the forefathers for these individuals who set up this system, they want the government system to run this way.
Yeah.
So now individuals such as us in this community, we need to start patterning up what we're gonna do for the children.
Exactly.
That's what we need to start doing. You know?
And invest in your own community as well.
Yeah.
You said like the funding has been cut, but
Yeah.
realistic, you can't like. Okay, the system is not for us. We've
Yeah.
established
Never been.
that. Do you know what I mean? We've established that. So what are you gonna do about it? Do you get what I mean? Invest in your own communities, and then and eventually they would have to put respect on you. Do you get what I mean? Because they see that you ride for your own community.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like there's a certain point you have to be like, okay, if you're not with me, I'm gonna do it myself. And I feel like a lot of our people, they're so stuck in the mindset of the system this, the society's not for us, this and this. But what are you actually doing to make sure that you are not a victim of whatever has been is set out against us?
I
Kind
feel
of
like
thing.
we have the money for it. The money's definitely there. People
Exactly, but
making up
no one
money, so,
invests.
Yeah, but
I've been part of anti-knife crime workshops, for this charity that I work for from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Going to prisons, and obviously engage with prisoners. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, a form of giving back. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to motivate the people in it, because I was once in their shoes. And like what I've sort of come to the conclusion is the source of this knife crime thing that people go on about. Knife, when we growing up, it's just such a norm. You know what I'm saying? In London, people just dying from being stabbed. You don't even see it as like a knife crime pandemic or whatever people want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
specifically young black men though.
It starts from the home. Like a lot of children out there have been failed by their mothers. A lot of young men and women out there come from crime families. You know what I'm saying? Come from crime syndicates. Where everyone, your mum, dad, uncle, everyone's involved in crime.
And abuse.
Yeah,
Mental
yeah.
abuse.
Mental abuse and sexual abuse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you'll be surprised. Like when I last went to Feltham, like, I don't think people realise how many like children under the age of like 17, in this country like are doing time for murder. You know what I'm saying? So when the media report on knife crime, it's misleading. Don't ever believe what the media is telling you about, because really the truth of the matter is, then they can't let everyone know, like they can't let the world know like how bad like knife crime actually is in London. You know what I'm saying? You've got like the international housing market.
Yeah.
You know, like friends have told us, like, you know, back in the day, and it was like, listen, like when joint enterprise come out, you know, so if I kill someone, then you're there, you know, you're getting the same amount.
Yeah.
At the time as me, the person who done it. But that was basically to sweep up the streets, you know what I'm saying, and just lock up gang members. And so the police was like, they'll talk to you, like when they're on the block doing their patrols, and then like, look, when people want to move, you know, to these areas and that, you know, they'll go up on Google and they'll see all these your rap videos and all that, and so they don't want to move into the area. That's costing the government money. What, you want to play with their money, with their housing money? Hey, look up these niggas.
No, you're right. You're right.
Listen, so when I came out, I saw the effects of gentrification. When I come out, on 2 years I came out, I was like, oh my days, like literally, it looked like a new area. You know what I'm saying? Like new buildings, like new people.
So do you think it's possible that maybe they keep things the way they are to drop the property value, and then they can come in and buy it at low price and then build up?
But that is, that's
a great strategy.
That's gentrification.
Peckham for perfect example.
It's mad.
Don't get me started on the areas.
Niggas burger shops everywhere.
Bro, at the end of the day, they need crime, innit? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how much like people are getting paid by someone getting convicted?
Yeah.
If you ever been on trial, you know like the things that you learn about the system, it's a
scary place. I hope
do you know what I'm saying? There's money to be made. You're always gonna have. You can't stop gangs. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You know, stop violence. You know, in any society, it's part of society.
Yeah.
It's a part of the economy.
And I think,
this is what they don't tell you.
Yeah, and prison itself, it doesn't seem to actually help reform people.
No,
like it doesn't make you less likely to reoffend if you're out. Like it's
that show you that.
Yeah.
You know, so and I just think a lot of parents have to be accountable.
100%
for how their children have turned out.
Yeah.
You know, and you have situations where there's, you know, single mums with like 5, 6 kids. How's she gonna you know what I'm saying, manage all these kids? You know,
she's probably working a lot as well to get money.
You know, so for me, like the fathers have, you know, I've got to be accountable. The mothers have to, you know, this is really where it starts from.
Because we've established the system isn't for us.
You know, don't get me wrong, 100%. Don't get me wrong, you have people who have both parents in their life, and they still end up going to jail. You're in and out of jail, just like I did. But it's crazy how most of my friends have grown up without a father, and guess what? Most of them have been in prison. I swear down. That's do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You get me? So like what do you think about the stop and searches, you know, powers that are given to police? Like do you think that's effective in combating? Because they do catch people with knives.
To a certain degree, yes. I can't lie, because when you look at it, and for TikTok, for example, and you see them just stopping them, and the guy just
he pulls out.
Oh my God! You saw it.
I don't know how to say it.
I was like, I can't fathom what kind of Houdini trick just took place. But it looks so well concealed in that pants, and I was like,
and he probably wasn't walking weird before.
Literally, and like when you stopped it, I was like, you know what? these men need to be taken
No,
off
they
the streets
do.
forever.
It's like, why are you walking around with that?
Literally,
That's what I'm saying.
you need to be taken off. But
There's
like you
something
say,
wrong with you.
Yeah,
You
it-
feel the need to, like, where are you coming from that you feel, is someone just gonna come and shoot you up as soon as you get out the door? It just doesn't make no sense.
but it comes back to, I'm not knocking Blue Story nor Rap Man. Oh, absolutely, that movie was splendid. It was a splendid movie. I'm not knocking Blue Story. For me, what I took from that was there's gangs in Peckham and Lewisham and majority of those vicinities, but look at the bigger picture what Rap Man said in the movie. But as we just mentioned, the crimes, the stabbings and everything from that, look what he did in the movies when people went in there with a bunch of knives and everything like that.
Yeah. So what's the takeaway then for you for in terms of Blue Story then?
What the guy actually said, you guys are fighting for a postcode that you don't actually own. That for me, I took that. When he said that, when Rapman wrote that, I was like, you see, Rapman know he was actually doing with that movie. That's what I took from it. Because you man out here fighting for the Queen postcode, you fighting for that you fighting for pavement that you don't own.
Yeah, you don't get paid to do it.
You man, I don't get it. I don't get it. I ain't fighting no one coming out there like, huh, I gotta duck. My man's after me, you know. I gotta conceal this good. Why am I going out here like a madman trying to stab up somebody from another gang and stuff that I don't know why I'm fighting this guy for?
Hunger Games, isn't it? The thing is,
it literally is.
You know, it's obviously it's by design.
Of course,
systems there for a reason, and at the end of the day, humans were biological computers. You know, so like all of this can be the name of survival.
But
playing devil's advocate.
We should start saying God's advocate, because I don't like the term that we keep saying devil's advocate. Why you don't say God's advocate?
Do you get what? But if you're in an environment where you happen to be in an environment where people are getting stabbed, and people are getting shot, you know, so you feel like you need to carry, you know, either a gun or a knife. To protect yourself, just for protection, you know. So, like, do you not think that's a fair?
I think that's valid, yeah, for sure. Because I don't think, for example, I don't know if you've seen Paid in Full.
Yeah.
But that guy did everything not to get involved. Ended up there because like the environment is definitely hard to survive in if you're trying to be a good apple amongst a bad bunch.
Hell no.
Because you do have choices, but again, a gang there's a sense of belonging. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're somebody. You know, if you grew up with a father, you know, but you don't. I think nobody expects to sort of end up doing life in prison from joining. You know, from when they first signed up to a gang and it was all or getting killed. Like, oh, you get this is real. People are dying. People are doing life in prison.
It'll start like maybe you're younger. They'll say take this there for me, and then they'll pay you, and then the money's good. All of a sudden they're like, go and get this guy, and it's like, I didn't know this was part of the deal. Like, you've done it, and then you end up somewhere.
You know what I've always been so curious about? It's how somebody can actually like take somebody's life. Do you get what I mean? I physically. Do you know what I mean? Because maybe I've never been in that situation, and of course you never really know if you can until you're put in that position, really and truly. But
I have trouble killing spiders.
Pardon?
I have trouble killing spiders. I can't do
you know what I mean? And I think it's just like, I think they just need to realize like the repercussions of their actions, because like you could literally just one act to just ruin your whole entire life.
But you know, men have testosterone. Men have ego. Especially when it comes to black men. Let's be honest. Come on. Let's get the cat out of the bag.
Ego is massive. There was a rapper / singer called Shorty. I think he's a gang member. I don't know what some guy in the crowd came to do, but he stepped to the front of the crowd and he did like some gang signs in front of him. And the rapper literally stopped and banged him in the face a couple times. And then you know what happened? There was a white girl that went up and said, "Get that nigga." Nothing happened to her. The black guy that's done gang signs at you, that's the real problem.
What?
It's crazy.
Bro.
His music is sick, but
Bro.
That's in the head of it.
When you're in, do you know, when you're in jail and you're black, yeah, it's different. It's a different experience. it's a different experience. So you'll get there, yeah. You'll be on a wing. Say if you just landed on a wing, yeah, you landed there with someone white, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Or, you know, man will come up, they'll totally ignore the white one. Where you from? Okay, go past one person. Yeah, bro, yeah, where you from?
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Getting G-checked by your own people. Well, this white guy could be a mass murderer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly.
So why they asking where you from though? Like,
and when you're on the yard as well, especially like when you reach to you're in the induction wing, like, and you come out, see a bag of man outside, face covered, like trying to G-check everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? So then you go to the exercise. Hey, where you from, bro? Like, wait, like you're seeing other like races, you know. But then no one's going like black people are just going to black people and asking each other.
Is it
where
a
you
way
from.
to make friends, or is it just so that they don't have
They
ops
networking.
in the same thing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what kind of networking going on there, but
Listen,
Okay.
listen. Me and T were talking about this. Shout out T, who's meant to be here today. He's running a bit late. It's like, listen, like, black people oppress black people. Like, when I say black people, let me be specific. You know what I'm saying? Urban. You know what I'm saying? Black people that are in the hood. You know, black people who are in the streets. You know what I'm saying? All this is self-hate. Self-hate. Niggas hate each other.
Yeah.
Niggas hate each other. We dehumanize each other. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. You know. So yeah, like it's mad, isn't it? Like you're seeing how you're in the yard and you're seeing the brothers just coming up. Where is it? What is this? How we're supposed to greet each other?
Exactly.
Is this normal? A black man. But like, so try and answer your question. Is like obviously, you know, people have enemies. You know what I'm saying? Hoping set, you know,
correct.
you could be getting set up to by someone who you think is your friend.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's very like, yeah, you don't want to be a sitting duck, like, like in prison.
Okay.
You know, but this is just the reality of it. You know.
But for why? That's the main. I know why, but why?
Like it's a culture.
Yeah.
Really. And it seems like the ideology governing the way they operate is almost like a religion, because they're willing to buy into it and get
Respect.
nothing back.
It's a
Like,
cult.
so it's like they just put their faith in the fact that if we do this, you get respect. If you do this,
I don't want to respect like that. To be honest,
it just doesn't
It's
make
nonsense.
sense to me.
But again, I have to go. But this is just like a minority of brothers.
Yeah.
You know that think like this and operate like this, innit? You know,
Also
and it's not a representation of all black people. You know, so to a lot of black people, like I think they don't understand like black people are not a monolith. You know what I'm saying? You know, we get different cultures and different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you get in every race, but
Exactly.
so I think, you know, in the streets, like yeah, if you're not from the streets, you ain't black. If you're not talking like this, you're not black.
Yeah.
No, no.
I hate that. The way
I saw
Honestly.
there's this video where some guy saw a woman that was walking like in an alleyway, and when she saw him, she turned around and like started changing direction because she saw like a black guy, and then this black guy starts chasing her, screaming, and then when she gets to the door, he's like, "We're not scary. We're just normal people." So I'm like, that's true,
She's
but she's
proving the
probably
point.
seen a bunch of shit
Yeah.
that's led her to that
Bro,
state of mind.
no, 100%. But even like, bro, I've been walking in my own area, yeah. Bro, do you know how many times a white person will just cross the street? Like, you know?
Sometimes I cross the street.
Oh, bro.
Exactly.
Not, but just,
I hear you.
bro.
Bro, if you saw a bag of niggas hooded up, but you get me, you like, you got me, like,
Yeah,
what are these men on? What are these? Am I gonna get?
I don't know.
So
But you're
bad.
right.
What?
Hey, better be safe than sorry.
Nah, man, I'm crossing that road. I'll go over there with too much hoods, Canada Gooses, and trap star.
Bro.
Across the street. I don't want to be involved in this behavior. I'm here with you on that one. Honestly, I'm there with you.
See, oh my days. Because obviously, Brian, you grew up in Jamaica, you know.
St. Martin.
Oh, pardon me.
St. Martin. Parents are Jamaican,
Right.
but St. Martin, yeah.
St. Martin. So, how was it like growing up like in the Caribbean?
Listen.
You know, because I know you understand how it is
Vibe.
in the UK in terms of youth violence, and you know the factors that are at play. You know, but I do understand. You know, we all understand that it's not the same back home, back in the Caribbean, and back in Africa. So yeah, it was just a lot to elaborate on that a bit.
So where do I even start, guys? The Caribbean, whether it's St. Martin, Trinidad, Guyana, Barbados, wherever it may be, all of us have a bond. There's a bond with everybody. But at the same time, there is the ignorance within that same community of everyone from the Caribbean. So growing up in the Caribbean, there's joy. There's always going to be joy because everyone, they love their carnival, you know. But for me, I don't.
So do I.
I don't. But for me, I don't. From a young age, I did, but I don't partake in carnival because there's a double meaning behind carnival, and I can go into that. But let's stick to the topic. What you asked me, how was it going in the Caribbean? Growing in the Caribbean, you learn about the streets, and you learn how to mingle, and when not to mingle, you learn how to decipher whether she's a good female or she's not a good female. You understand when it's politics, involve yourself in politics, or you don't involve yourself in politics. So it's just like with the African as well too. If anything was to happen, your mom's gonna know about this. Rude mouth, you behave rude to the elders or whatever. You just don't know how your parents found out, but your mother and father found out, so you're getting your ass kicked. So, like I say, growing up, it was good. There's downs.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about getting like stabbed or shot like by someone that looks like you. Because I guess when you're in a all black country, black majority, you're not even classed as black. Everyone's black. You know what I'm saying? We're only black because we live in the UK.
Exactly.
Where we're a minority.
And that changes the way you see yourself.
Exactly.
It would do it.
Yeah.
But there's still hatred amongst the looking.
Colorism.
Exactly. There's colorisms. So when you look at it from like people from Trinidad, there's a negative connotation that people use, and it's not good. You know, it's a racial slur that people who looks like Dravidian Indians, but they're Trinidad, but they're looking Indian.
Coolly,
It's a racial slur. People shouldn't be using that, but those individuals, they don't really like to mingle with people who look like us. But there are people who still mingle with people who look like us, who are Trinidad, who of the Dravidian looks.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So growing up there, you need to understand that there was colorism to a high degree. Even at one point, I was like, oh my God, do I even like my skin? Because it used to be like, oh, you so black. Like, I'm like growing up here now. And like, now I really like understand and seeing like research, doing this, doing that, and understand like, oh my God. So back in the day, these people used to like hate themselves for no apparent reason. What you mean you're too black? What the hell does that even mean? What you mean you're too black? Like, so being of a darker skin. What about people from Africa who grew up with the melanin, super jet black? Do you hear their Africans saying, "Oh, you're super jet black. I don't like you."
Some of them do.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the self-hate. That's the Willie Lynch theory. There we go. Now we start going into Willie Lynch.
But that starts from the government.
Come on.
That starts from the government by placating light-skinned people, giving light-skinned people the better jobs in society. You know what I'm saying? Like with Fidel Castro, like when they overthrew Batista. Like he was proper, you know, a colorist, you know, like racist leader. So so when Fidel Castro was in power, you know, he said, look, stop this nonsense. We're all Cubans, you know what I'm saying? You know, white, we're black, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but yeah, again, it always it favors, when you have a racist government, it will favor the light skinned people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it always starts, from government.
I'm sure it's leftover trauma from slavery.
Exactly. It trickles down.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, but also light skinned people also, in the plantations, in the field. Obviously, the house Negro is equated to be
Exactly.
light skin, innit?
Yeah.
But there was also, it's just
there was, I have to piggyback on that.
Uncle Tom's.
There was a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but if you guys saw it on YouTube, you will actually see it. And he elaborated on before, when Caucasians and black people, they were together. So I'll expound upon what I meant by that and how he explained it as well too. So we were together, we were trying to fight the 1%. And everyone should know who the 1% is. We're the 99, we're the working individuals trying to just make a living, but why these individuals have trillions of dollars and there's poor people. There's people who just starving.
Most of the world is poor.
So exactly. So those individuals, the poor white people, the poor black people, they were like, yo, we gotta come together, guys.
Yeah.
We gotta overthrow these individuals.
Yeah.
And from the moment they saw that we were doing that, we worked together, they were like, what the hell? You look like me. I'm talking about the white people.
Yeah.
Why is this going on?
Yeah.
You know what? Hold up. Hey, here's what I can do for you. How about I put you working on the plantation? Because remember, plantations and everything was still going on.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll do. I'll make you a slave master. You look after all these Negroes on the field. I'll give you a job. I'll pay you a good amount of money, which is trash money. But I'll still make you work. But we can't have each other fighting each other. I don't mind, as long as I don't have to be scrimming around for food and scraps. You work with me, you give me a job, I'll be fine. So in terms of Freemasonry, you couldn't been a Freemason if you weren't a slave master. If you weren't a slave master, you couldn't be a Freemason.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Everyone should know this by now. It's facts.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why it's like this now. Because we were working together. They didn't want us to be working together.
No,
So they
no.
made us to, give them the jobs, make us to struggle, fight with each other. And we're still in the field up to this day. Up to
Just
this
in a
day.
different
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Because look, individually, at the same time, individually, loads of black people are doing really well. Obviously,
Yeah.
collectively, that's not the case. And it just goes, just back to Elianne and Andam. It's like, cool. Now, think we have to talk about sentencing. So there's a narrative out there where people are saying that these sentences are not long enough.
Nah.
They're longer
For
than
some crimes they
they're
are.
longer than the
Legit.
lesson.
And then some are ridiculous.
So even when people get caught with a knife, a lot of people, from the time you get for that, it's quite soft. You know what I'm saying? You don't even get you don't get years for like getting caught
But you'll probably come out
with a
worse.
knife. Yeah,
You'll probably come out worse.
I got a few months for carrying a knife back in the day. So yeah, would you think about sentencing?
Years. Okay, let's elaborate on what the guy is supposed to be getting. Years. From the moment you come in front of me, and Your Honor, this gentleman, he hurt a female. Well, shouldn't even use the word hurt. Exactly. He killed a female, at the age of 15, took her life. She, if you elaborate on everything, what took place in front of me, I'm like, go on. He killed her, etc., and stuff like that. For what? Oh, because they were in a relationship. She broke up with him. He wanted to get back with her. It couldn't happen, so he killed her. Really? Life.
Life order.
Straight.
How old is he?
17 it was.
Okay, so
17.
I'm guessing it's just legality. Yeah.
So I don't even care if you was like, 16, this and that. From the moment you put in your mind, I'm gonna kill someone, you know what you were doing. Life. So
Would you assist them for their mental health?
I don't think.
Really and truly,
I think
I would.
The average 16 or 17-year-old probably doesn't have it in them to kill someone.
You need to
So-
assess their psyche.
And I
No,
think putting them.
they do. When you're in the hood, like you're on the verge of that every day. But obviously, in this instance, it's not gang related. Like,
Shame.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're not, like the mentality is, these youths, like, why do you think they're carrying fucking swords around?
Exactly.
They're
Ridiculous.
ready to take
You know what you're
take
doing.
someone out.
But that's not the average teenager. And the laws are made based on the average teenager. So I think the fact that they're given 20 years
Yeah,
is more just because that's what the law was, because they give some sort of benefit of the doubt for the person's age.
Yeah.
Mm.
it's not the average teenager, but in the black community, we are like stabbing each other at a disproportionate rate.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They're not actually reporting like
Mm.
how bad it actually is. Like,
Mm.
take it for someone that's been in and out prison and done workshops. You know what I'm saying? In and out prisons also.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be mind blown. Like,
I'm not
how
disputing
much
that.
young
I'm
killers
just
there
saying-
actually are in
I'm not
in
disputing
London.
that, but I'm saying the law is made based on the majority of cases. Well, even in the UK, it's
Yeah.
based on precedent as well. So like
Yeah.
they can change the law based on. So they may even decide because of this case, the way it's gone down, they can give a 17-year-old or 16-year-old life, and then in future when there's a case like that, they'll refer to this case as precedent and say, "Oh,
Right.
this is what happened."
If they want to do that, because you could probably get a 25.
Mm.
You know, 25.
But you need to.
I mean, that's
Plus.
a long
But
time
usually-
in
but-
hell.
but-
So it's like it's. I think it's a.
It's reasonable.
But do you know
Yeah.
how common that
You need to.
18 year, like
Reasonable.
really, like, bro, like bare people get 18 years for like like knife attacks, so like a gang thing, like 5 man stab up 1 man, right? They all get like 18 years each.
Mm.
18, you're gonna come out. It's not like America. Like 18. When you think about it, okay, you lot will kill someone, you're getting 18 years each. do you know what I'm saying? Really think about it. It's not like they're giving them 27s, 25s, or you know what I'm saying. It's still
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
18.
You're likely to survive it.
Yeah, you're gonna come like.
You'll be back outside.
But obviously, and the other thing is, because it's such a common thing that happens in London, that also has a effect, on like how they sentence people, because it's actually very, very common. So
So if they sentence everyone, they'll run out of space.
That's
Crazy.
It's crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, people are getting just 18 years for killing, for killing somebody, basically. Can you imagine now how the victim's family might be feeling about this?
It's crazy.
18 years. Think about it, bro. A lot of them, sort of like the famous stabbings that's happened, have ended up on TV, like when we was younger in London. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing was Sneakbowl Gas Gang, and you know what I'm saying, that that died, and they were chasing them in the car, and they go out, stand them up, like those youths are like. Home now. You killed it. Like, they were getting really low sentences, innit? For killing. Like 14 years, 15 years, and you know what I'm saying? They're not like, man are not getting 25. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people who actually don't really understand this in depth. And they think like, oh yeah, they're like, wow, it's crazy to them that people are getting like that kind of time, 18 years, 15 years for killing someone.
Yeah, because it's a permanent. Like, killing someone is permanent, so your sentence, in their minds, I guess, should be permanent. Like, you shouldn't be allowed back outside. I think that's how they see it. I'm guessing that's how.
So
you see it.
here's lenient.
Of course.
The laws in this country are lenient. You know what I'm saying? Very lenient country.
Mickey Mouse.
The UK.
But that's why they have to look at like each individual on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Because imagine if I had like a husband beating me up at home, obviously it does not give me the right to kill them or whatever. But like in self-defense, obviously I kill him. Are you gonna give me life? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like it's genuinely self-defense.
It's different, yeah.
Do you know? So it's kind of like it's different. But I definitely do feel like a mental examination or whatever, especially in that case, because it was just rejection. Do you get what I mean? Are they dealing with something else? Because rejection, it's not that deep for you to be
it's not
going to
enough,
be
yeah.
It's really not enough.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to elaborate and piggyback on what you said as well too. rejection for these individuals here in this country, because like I say, I'm from the Caribbean, and like men in London, I do not understand how they deal with rejection that certain way, because there was one on TikTok. There was one on TikTok. I know you guys saw this one too as well. There was a female. She was at the bus stop. Let me see. Tell me if you guys bring it in your head now. And she was just waiting, I think it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
She wanted Subway.
And she wanted to go home, and there was a gentleman. He was, I think he was Somalian. Mm-hmm. And every minute he was saying, wallahi. He was like, and like, oh, can I get your number? And stuff like that. She was like, no, like, I'm just waiting for my bus and stuff like, oh, like, she trying to say, like, just leave me alone, but she stand her ground, though. That's what I liked about in the video, because if it was a different female who was not about that life and who understand the streets, I wouldn't even say streets, but just understand moral dignity and know how to speak to an individual in a tough situation, they would have felt fold. Yeah. So she was like, can you please leave me alone? And he was just getting aggravated and stuff like, I just talked to me, like, wow, I would have stabbed you up right now if you wasn't a female and stuff like that. I can't remember how, but she was like, whoa, so you're just gonna like hurt me just because I didn't know you my number.
Something wrong
so there you go.
This is common. This is very common.
It's ridiculous. Why? Because you get rejected every day when you go for a job and they don't accept you. Are you going to
they're not applying for jobs. Those kinds of people aren't applying for jobs.
Even if you go into a gang and they're not accepting you because they don't have a log, I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
You
think they check your out before they invite you to the gang?
I'm like, I'm sure you need to have a certain look or whatever. You need to be beneficial to them. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's just not making sense. That alone is not enough. Something is tapped out there for you to feel like one little situation is just gonna blow up the whole world. It's not enough.
See, like, what is the root of this insecurity?
Do you get what I mean?
Like, what is the root of it? Like, you can't. There's not one guy that can tell me like every girl that they've gone to draw, that it was successful.
There's actually something like that for everyone.
I don't care who you are. I lie though, innit? Has that made me like fucking want to harm a girl or like stop threatening her with violence?
And what's that?
Or like
what's that slang you guys use? Even men who are clapped, they're still getting females. I don't know what it is.
Confidence. That's what it is. That's what it is.
She saw confidence in the guy. Yeah. So the clapped men are getting some of the prettiest girls because I don't claim just because of girls' outside features is pretty. Yes, outside might be pretty, but what about inside?
Yeah.
We need to start looking at that. Some men, she was buff, because the eyes and the skin tone and stuff. That's what you call pretty? Yes.
Well, I mean, I didn't see her personality in it, so like, it wasn't her personality that made me go and talk to her. So, but I hear what you're saying.
When you speak to them now, and you're like, getting to know her and stuff like that, and the vibe was immaculate, there you go. You could say she's pretty there or not, but like sometimes you shouldn't just base it off of looks. I want to talk to a girl. Yeah. Well, you know what? I want to speak to that girl because she caught my eye in a particular way or whatever you want to say is pretty or good for you. That's what I would say.
And also, like, when you say, like, look deeper into the situation, because I know, like, everyone's saying it's rejection and whatever, not particularly for the Croydon incident, but, when, like, people get in, like, relationships and, like, I know people love throwing around this word, the narcissist.
I'm going to
say like they use it too loosely, but
in
certain circumstances, it's actually, like, genuinely true. Like, you get with somebody from the first instance, like, it's great, you get along with them and stuff like that, and then, like, over time, this relationship literally changes you. Do you get what I mean? Because this person is just so manipulative and stuff like that, and you turn into something you don't recognize. Do you get what I mean? Obviously, it has to be like deeper into that, but still.
No, like, narcissism. I'm glad you've touched on that, because I make this argument all the time. Like when I speak to T, and there's a theory called dark triad trait. Okay. It's psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these can be your boss at work, on a more everyday kind of basis, or this could be somebody that's an authority figure. You know what I'm saying? local authority, or like the examples that they usually draw on are despots and tyrants. You know what I'm saying?
People that force their way to the top.
Yeah. So there's many examples of obviously being like, to be a psychopath. You know what I mean? It's all about just killing people like at will, and just, do you know what I'm saying? It plays out in so many different ways. Do you know what I'm saying? It's about control. It's about your ego. You know, you want to be in a position of power to basically, abuse people. You know what I'm saying? And have all these impulses that you want to practice.
Yeah.
You want to practice on people.
Yeah.
So if you don't like what someone said to you, then you're gonna do something about it. Something really conniving. Something really conniving, or even like harm a person physically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that triad trait plays out, and so more people have it than you think. Plays out in relationships. Like this whole nowadays modern day women, there's this emphasis about a guy. There was one video. This woman was just like, if you want to be with me, you better have 7 side jobs. Just look after me. No. It's just
if you've got it, then if you want someone to match your standard, then yeah. But if you don't, then
it's like you.
She agrees with you.
There's nothing wrong with wanting your partner to be on the same level as you. It becomes a problem when you're not.
But what's a level?
What you mean?
What's a level?
In terms of salary, in terms of provision, in terms of
so that's
affection.
both of those first two were salary.
No. I'm asking you. I'm not telling you.
Provision and salary.
No. Affection. It could be affection as well, because someone could provide and not be affectionate emotionally. Do you get what I mean? But if you want someone to match you, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there isn't.
But in reality,
conversation for another day.
In reality, man, there's a lot of women, are the breadwinners in their households, and
Let's talk about that.
And it works, like but obviously we know she did. Come on, a man has to provide in it. But just the woman was just like you clearly. I'm looking at her. You're mad. You're actually you're a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? You're a toxic narcissist.
Why?
Because of what she's saying. Oh, if you're gonna be with me, you better have 5 foot side jobs. You better do this. All this entitlement. It's like, that's not how. Woman, she was a big woman,
and she didn't say that she had that either, did she? She didn't say what she was making.
No, it's like, what have you?
She was just asking for.
What have you got to? No,
like I said, it was her.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, listen, you can't just dismiss this.
I'm just saying.
What social media is not even reality, man. It's got people thinking this is how relationships work. Yeah. This is how every person is thinking. Do you know what I'm saying? In reality, this is not even the case. Yeah. Like, people are just saying stuff and just using buzzwords because it sounds good.
Yeah.
And like,
exactly.
Even like anything goes, or like, what are you even talking about? Like women banging on about a high modern day women, a high value man.
That's subjective, though.
How many high value? Right, but according to social media, it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be over 6 foot. You got to be earning fucking 100k plus a year. There is,
you know what?
there is a criteria for a high value man.
It's about salaries and money. They never talk
Exactly.
about
That's why I said
and
the
that's
first.
so
you
bad.
said,
No, I was asking you, but what criteria?
Oh, no,
I
because
was asking you. I wasn't like.
Oh, okay, you weren't giving me.
Yeah, I was asking you.
Who's the moderator of all this? Someone's got to like tell me. Show me the moderator.
It's capitalism, bro.
Bro,
Capitalism.
This is all the root of it.
I think it's just more of like what you pictured the perfect man to be or the perfect woman to be, and then you just kind of like try to meet that standard.
Listen, it's
the
too
high
much
value.
It's just too much Sukiyanas out there. Listen, don't get me started, man. I start calling names and all, but it's not that I'm scared. I'm scared to say it, but like, don't get me started. It's too much of those females who just out here doing the most. And like you say, even with Kevin Samuels as well too. that man know what he was saying.
Oh yeah.
He knew what he was, and
agree with what
and
he's
I don't care
saying.
what anyone says. They assassinated Kevin Samuels.
It's come out.
I don't care.
It's come out, yeah.
They took this
You
gentleman
know how
out.
he dies?
Listen,
Was
I
it
don't know.
with a prostitute?
I don't
No,
know.
it wasn't
Escort.
prostitute. No, I thought it was just a woman he knew, and he
Mm.
popped like too many Viagra's.
It was given very much escort.
Yeah, lies.
I don't see why he would have.
Let's not try and deviate too
Yeah,
much.
let me know.
R.I.P. the great,
Yeah,
to the
like,
great.
No, he was. I don't think the
Kevin
delivery
Samuels.
helped him. I think with a lot of these public figures that we do look at, that they bring up like these controversial topics.
yeah.
Sometimes they do actually speak sense, but I don't think the delivery helps.
But that's
them.
that's how men want and need to hear the truth. That's not how women
Yeah.
want and need to hear the truth. But he was speaking to women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
The men,
So
the
he
men
needs a
that he
justice
spoke to
approach.
understood it
Yeah.
and took it. But when you speak to women, I think they won't receive it in the same way. They'll think you're just trying to be.
Bash.
They've got a red pill on me. They've got a red pill on me.
Exactly. Whereas men don't hear that and be like, shit, yeah, I do need to. Like,
Yeah.
And what about you guys' take on Andrew Tate now? Like,
Uh,
It's the
what,
same.
Listen,
Andrew Tate is good.
I don't think
No,
it's
guys,
good.
guys,
That's why
guys, you are deviating so much.
No, but like,
It's a good, it's a good topic,
Yeah,
innit?
it is.
like I'll give an example. So like the way he speaks, the way he speaks to oh yeah, we are deviating.
No, I didn't want to stop you, but
And you know, he
No,
responded.
land.
He responded to that video because people were saying that it's his influence on young men that caused that guy to stab her. But he was saying that.
Oh wait,
Exactly.
okay.
Yes, bro.
Wait, I heard something like that.
No.
Exactly, and so it kind of hints
no.
back.
No, it isn't, because he actually says,
Exactly, and-
because he actually says the opposite. He says
should
when a girl
protect.
rejects you, you need to go and build up yourself
Thank
you.
so that they can
Exactly.
come after you. So that's
Exactly,
so much true.
exactly.
Hell
But
no.
that's the narrative that was out
You
there.
know what they're gonna
That's
call you
so
now? They're gonna call you the
true.
female Andrew Tate.
They don't call you a
Yeah.
female.
I'm not an Andrew Tate fan, don't get it twisted, because I disagree with a lot of what he says. But
No, I
like,
call
you
you a
can
pick me,
genuinely
yeah.
We did this
Oh,
already.
yeah,
Yes.
well,
I don't care about it. But like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like some things he does have some sense, but
But there
others
was
he
literally
doesn't.
so what I was saying before was
Yeah.
like the way men and women receive
Yeah,
sexual
the
criticism.
deliverance ruins
Like
it.
he spoke to maybe women saying like if you get this kind of body count, blah blah blah, you're not gonna get the guy you want. And like he would say it in a certain way. But then he would literally talk to guys in the same way, and be like, "You broke, like, you're broke. Like what the fuck are you
That was
doing?
a
You're
hard
a loser. You're
take
fat. You're
access,
blah
though.
blah
You're
blah."
brokey.
I'm like,
I like that.
and guys will see that and go to the gym or like work extra hours or something like that. So because that's how we receive information.
All right.
But yeah.
So okay, now we have to obviously talk about the music side of things and how this could play a part,
Mm.
or maybe doesn't play a part.
It does.
This hyper violent culture that seems to be
Mm.
really prevalent
Yeah.
in the black community.
I say female rappers hypersexualized,
Yeah,
male rappers hyperviolent.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
I don't
Get rid of
see.
them.
So can
see,
you blame?
me-
Should we blame drill?
Yes.
Nah,
Why? Why?
But continue. Elaborate. Go on.
So-
I'll come back to that.
Yeah. So you put it down to drill,
I don't think
Brian?
Not just.
because to
but-
me, like let's say, like for example, there's heavy metal that's like a white genre and it's very violent and like but we don't necessarily blame it for these things. Do you know what I mean? I think when you have an art form like that, it needs to be viewed as what it is, and it's just maybe someone's that expressing a traumatic experience, but they're not, and they're kind of glorifying it, but it's more. I don't know. I don't think you can say it's indoctrinating a bunch of young people to do that because I feel like most young people still aren't going down that road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And for some people, I think I was watching something at some point. Sorry, did you want to?
No.
And it was saying, well, for drill music or like this rap music and stuff like that, was some rappers use it as a way to kind of like a release for them. So instead of resulting to the knife crime and the guns and whatnot, they take that as a form of therapy for themselves,
Yeah,
and it's actually educational
Coming
for
from an
some
actual
people.
rapper,
I think-
it's
Mhm.
it's it's an outlet.
Catharsis, yeah.
It's therapeutical.
Yeah.
I think there's a line from Boondocks where some guy said, "When a black man's broke, I'm either gonna rap, sell crack, or rap about selling crack."
probably Uncle Rockers.
yeah.
If he gets desperate, he might sell everything. He might have started rap.
That was a good one.
Hey.
Uncle Ruckus took that shit, man. I love Uncle
Oh,
Ruckus.
man.
But to elaborate on what you say now, do I think
Yeah.
it's drill? Hell yeah.
Mm.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Music's powerful, really powerful.
Who orchestrates for the individuals to listen to this music? You know, there's a word. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Starts with a J. But anyways, continuing, guys. I don't want to say that word because, like I said, going forward in this, they might want to flag me for whatever I might say that, you know, continuing with this one podcast. Yeah, but those individuals, because like they run it. Yes. Those individuals, it's them. They're good ones, and then there's those individuals who's making sure that it's actually ran this way. Take for example, when you watch NWA, you guys watch that movie, right?
Jerry Heller.
Exactly. So with that part when he was like, Ice Cube said, yo, like, what's going on with the money? You know, like, yeah, when we gonna get all shit? Easy was getting everything, you know? And they were like, oh yeah, you guys gonna get your stuff. And then going forward into the movie in the end, like they start seeing like, you know, receipts, like what's that word you guys call? Like when somebody have to go and check.
Chicken.
Okay.
They see the checks. They start seeing the checks like, well, this is all checks that we're supposed to get from Solar. So someone's making sure
Royalties.
things. Yes, someone's making sure things are in a certain way for us to make sure that we listen to this continuously always.
Because I remember the other day I was like, what, is it only drug users that know how to rap? Because I couldn't hear, I think if you ask someone what a rap song is about, they can't say, it's not the same way that you can just give like a general answer, like, oh, it's about what the person's going through. It's usually going to be about drugs or that sort of lifestyle. And it's like, why are they the only ones blowing up?
Because they placated gangster rap in America. They placated it. Because the true art form of rap is storytelling, you know? It's you know, about your lifestyle with women and reporting what's going on, like in this disenfranchised area that you've had to grow up in.
Yeah.
you're shedding light on what's going on in these environments, you know, to people who are oblivious to it. You know, so they had to control rap, you know, the elites, you know.
The message behind it. Yeah, absolutely.
And the powers that be. So they're basically in a nutshell, how do we control this art form and still fill up prison cells and make millions of money, millions of pounds from obviously these singles as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's a multifaceted thing. So so obviously with gangster rap, obviously then you had the rap beefs. You know what I'm saying? Again, you're still like it's a crabs in a barrel they turn it into, basically. Yeah. You know, it's crabs in a barrel, and while a handful of people are gonna you know, reap some type of success from it, but most of the people are gonna be getting affected, like by this, negatively affected. You know what I'm saying? People get killed. You know, why is it in rap you have such a high rate of artists that get murdered when they get to the top?
And
what sort of genre is this? He wasn't really part of this genre. Why are you being a rapper? A rapper's being dangerous. What? Why is being a musician being dangerous? But it's like black people. Listen, we have to be, again, it's set up by design. We know there's certain traps that have been set, if you understand the history of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Cool. You know, but ultimately, it's like we still have the power. If people, black people unite properly, you know, even when they have, obviously, you know, there's hurdles. you know what I'm saying? Literally. But, like, as far as music, and you have people like P. Diddy that go on, like, him and he's such a facade, this guy. He'll go on like, oh yeah, I'm fighting for us and all this kind of stuff. And, like, you know what I'm saying? You got bare fucking demons in your closet.
And then you go to the hood once a week and hand out turkeys.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, people like that, they could be doing a lot more than what he's putting a whole show to the world. You know? So again, so it's just like, listen, again, it speaks to the fact that we're powerless again.
I don't think.
You know.
I think we just. Maybe we've
that
been programmed
that
not to
art
use our
form,
power.
black people should be running, the hip hop industry.
Facts. Yeah.
But we don't. We're the faces of it.
Yeah.
It's the same way with like black people are like kind of the face of drug selling. I was in Spain and someone asked me if I was if I got drugs to sell.
Bro,
No,
I
it's
had
not-
I had a
that's
backpack.
to be
I was in
respected.
a
But
van, yeah.
really, everyone else smokes as the same rate as black people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it's
we
bad
like.
PR. It's bad PR.
When it comes to like drugs, it's like we fit the description.
We know you're selling.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'll say, like, even if it's not necessarily indoctrinating young people to go into like to join gangs and stuff like that. It definitely makes it harder for me to wear a tracksuit outside because I look like.
Hell yeah.
So
I don't even
wear it.
So I get because they saw someone on their TV that said they did this and they were dressed like that and they were black. And now I'm outside. I see this guy.
Yeah.
He's dressed like that and he's black.
Yeah.
So he must be doing the same thing that this guy was doing.
The media are good at doing that with representation. You know. Oh man, trust me.
Absolutely. So I wear that tracksuit in my yard. And I'll be doing stuff in my yard with that tracksuit.
It's either the top or the bottom. It's never at the same time. Never at the same time.
Never at the same time.
Hoodie,
brother.
cargos or
It's mad how as a black man, really, your dress code that is so important, isn't it?
I actually think about that.
Well, I don't know what it's like in Liverpool, but yeah,
you have to.
do you know what this man just said?
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And that's how people start getting harassed. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you're not from the roads, you're black, you dress in, a certain way with tracksuits.
Then you get stopped and searched.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you fit the
description, yeah. And
but if you're a bystander now, you see a bunch of police officers stopping and searching someone that's in like this.
attire.
Yeah, exactly.
You think, oh yeah, good, they're doing a good job. He's probably got a knife on him. Like,
Yeah,
most guys never had to be arrested.
Pays his taxes. He was just anything. Exactly, it's true.
Mind your own business.
But it's funny how, like me, because I would love to do it. Well, I could do it anytime I want to because I know how to dress. I would say I would be dressing like Peaky Blinders every damn day. So you would not say, let me give you guys some game. No, it's not really game. It's just food for thought. Like, you could dress like Peaky Blinders and be carrying your quote-unquote Rambo. I'm not trying to teach people to do that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying about it. If you didn't want to be stopped, you could be having your little suit there. I mean, your luggage right there, carrying on your day, dressed like the Peaky Blinders, and the police would not suspect anything. But you want to say, hey, I'm from the hood, man.
Nah,
well, you might think
I have a sports car,
I gotta do it.
music, booming, tints, got bare crimes in the car.
Yes, thank you. Pull up to the side, please. Who's this car for? Of course, you're gonna get stereotyped because look, you fit the description.
Not just for the police, but for other gang members. So if you're walking around in a tracksuit, if you want to be safe in your hood, wear a suit out.
But they can't run in a suit.
But they might not realize it's you. Why would he be wearing a suit?
The suit is not flexible.
Yeah,
But they might not realize it's you.
Niggas don't like wearing. Some niggas don't like wearing suits.
Do you know what I mean?
They might not even
I like
give you a
suits.
second look because
I look too smart.
I love to be just
maybe he was on the block, but he's got an internship now. He's doing well for himself. That's not bother.
Big up yourself, man.
He's putting himself in more danger because if they recognize him, how's he gonna run away?
Hopefully they don't. Yeah.
It is.
Hope for the best.
Does black and black crime exist, or are we ignoring the fact that poor people kill poor people? For example, if you in America where there's literally millions and millions of black people, and you have communities, middle class communities where there's a high rate of black people who are middle class, who are not killing each other at a disproportionate rate. So is a black and black crime a thing? And I also think about when we had a youth worker on Fly on the Wall, like a couple of years ago, and we was talking about this, and he was making the argument of poor people kill poor people, and no matter where you go in the world, you know what I'm saying. We go to Brazil for favelas,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But you know, you go to like Poland, you know, what I'm saying, in a disenfranchised, poor, low income area, you know. So is that white on white crime? So
because they don't, exactly, they don't frame it that way. I think it's because, unlike other groups, we're kind of grouped together based on something that we can't really control. So when they see a crime committed by two people, and the most noticeable factor, that's the most noticeable common factor between them is the fact that they're black. It's gonna
different connotations.
Yeah, it just happens like that. Because, like, for example, I don't know, like, not all black people think in the same way, but you can assume that most Jewish people, because they have a common ideology, they have certain practices that they all believe in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But black people don't have that, because black is not a religion. It's just how they've chosen to call people with melanin and like curly hair. So it's not the same.
It's in a demeaning way, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So they'll just say it's black on black crime because they assume that, like, the blackness is linking them together, but really they're just two individuals. Yeah.
No, definitely.
And with them as well too, as you just mentioned them, they know what they're doing. They make sure work together, group economics.
As a community, they are very
don't
good.
have no group economics. We don't want to have group economics.
Because
Our first episode was actually about that. You know,
but yeah, I think we don't have a common idea. So maybe we have to buy into the fact that we're all black more, and then it like, and care about the way people see. Because if I don't care what the motivating factor is, if you are just doing it so people don't think you're like, we're all violent, and so you're helping other black people come up because of that, do it, and then we'll all come up, and then we won't even worry about why we started.
Yeah, but the thing is, because of the level of racism against black people in particular, the government target black people more than any other ethnic minority. That's just factual. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but I think, if we,
it doesn't mean like we can't. I'm not trying to make up excuses of more.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Playing like,
but I think
devil's advocate a bit.
Yeah, we have the capital to make it to the point where they can't be against us because we're contributing the most, like, some of the most money. It has to be like that, because literally Africa could have the whole world in a chokehold. Because they could have just said, okay, look, this is the price. If you can't afford it, fuck off.
Do you know
what I mean? They don't do that.
They don't do that.
Yeah, but that comes.
Because in theory, Africa is actually the richest continent.
Yeah,
like ever.
Yeah, best in the world.
What you know? Suck Africa.
In reality,
corruption. Our leaders, but they see a bit of money and then.
Money don't.
Fuck my people.
No vision.
Fuck my people.
And that's
I'm getting rich today.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a common. It's a common. They don't have a common idea, because I feel like even Indians, like, they see themselves as more of a group, even though there are different cultures within them.
Yeah.
That they just help each other. I feel like it's
they do.
Like the Chinese as well. Too. Same thing.
Why are leaders giving away fucking our resources to fucking to the Chinese? It's like in an exchange where.
Do you feel like
it's so backwards?
Yeah, they're literally protesting Ghana right now because of
there's a specific
the
reason.
imbalance. Like, I think they're building a cathedral when really they should be building a hospital. So I think it is backwards.
Bro, it's like, okay, the Chinese are building infrastructure now.
Exactly.
They're building roads. What? But why we still look? We all know that countries obviously have to do, have to do commerce with each other. They have to do this trade relation, and so forth. But like African countries always get the worst end of these deals.
Maybe they just don't have great negotiation skills. I don't know what the issue is.
It's greed. This is
I think greed is what fucks up the negotiation.
Black people fucking greed. Like, fucking.
Put down the
And
t-shirt.
This is what I'm saying.
Fucking
Greed, that's a great.
No, say black
Let's-
leaders.
we have to-
Yeah, leaders.
Black
Leaders, yeah, I agree with that. Leaders and
Yeah.
someone behind the scenes trying to make sure
Yeah.
things run a
This,
certain
yeah.
this
way.
doesn't just happen in Africa, you know. It
That's
happens
what
in the Middle
happens
East.
everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? It happens in South America, but they
Yeah.
still
But the
like.
Middle East are clever about it though, because
Do
the
you know-
Middle East still benefit from whatever it is.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean? But like with Africa, it's like you've got everything. We've got the food. Practically, the Western countries get off the food from us, if not India. Do you get what I mean? So like, what's the issue? You've got everything, but you're not doing anything
It's
with what you've
crazy,
got.
isn't it?
It's
Like,
like, what is going on?
We're talking about starving kids from Africa when realistically,
You literally
it's the
have
kids in
everything.
bloody like these cold areas where nothing grows. That should be
Exactly. It makes no sense whatsoever. So that's where, like, I think when I was saying before, like, to a certain extent, you need to take accountability.
Absolutely.
Do you get what I mean? It's like you can't blame everybody else. The other people are taking advantage of you because you don't know what you have. Do
Exactly.
you get what I mean?
Exactly.
So
No, they
just do
no,
better.
they
They
do.
know, but they do. I get what you're saying.
You never-
Yeah, so I think you just
No
need like
wonder.
better leaders that actually genuinely care about their country.
I think.
No, but so
it's
why
an
is it
elevation
exclusive?
of it.
We know this happens with every other race in,
Yeah.
in you know, different parts of the world. But
because
why is it with black people?
Because
Yeah,
if-
when it's at the bottom?
I think there have been steps taken when there were signs of real progress in Africa
Gaddafi, for example.
to stop that. Because if Africa does what other continents are doing in terms of like actually using their resources and actually like selling them for prices that other continents are selling theirs for, you can't, like, they can price everyone out of the market because they're the only ones that have certain resources. I think Congo is the only place where you can get
the minerals and stuff.
yeah
as
Shut
for,
well.
like,
up,
to
man,
make
country.
iPhones and stuff. Like it's just
Coltan, yeah.
coltan, yeah,
Coltan
like
and cobalt.
cobalt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they've literally deliberately made certain areres war torn so they can go and mine the
Oh,
cobalt.
no,
Yeah,
no. Obviously, yeah. There's so many mining companies. Yeah, it's not just Americans that are, you know, like in Congo. Well, it's Canadians,
Yeah, French,
Jewish people,
Germans,
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone just sucking out Africa. And
You know what I'm saying?
what Africa needs to start doing is like throwing these people out of here. Literally.
Nah,
But then see,
yeah.
if you start doing that, do they then resort to the kind of military action
Because
you see
what it is,
in
yeah.
places like
For example, with Congo, you have the rebels, the M24 rebels. They're actually like making the oil companies pay up. to, you know what I'm saying? Because then obviously, bro, they've got heavy weaponry, and they're more powerful than the military. The military is not.
where did they get the
not-
weapons from?
Come on, we all know it's a game, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if a lot of people think, bro, I might as well just be a rebel. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you know, there's an onslaught of flipping innocent people. I'm not justifying anything that the rebels are doing, but they get what they want.
Have you seen Beast of No Nation?
No.
Okay, I think that was set in Congo somewhere.
Yeah.
Idris Elba and yeah, that was a good one.
Wait, I think I've seen that one, but it's an old film, innit?
Yeah, like he's leading a group of young short soldiers.
Yeah. So all that's been imposed, yeah, man. You know, on Africa is and they played on the tribalism that goes on. You know, for example, in Congo with Rwandan genocide. You know,
yeah.
you know, the Tutsis, you know, and the Hutus and the Twas, isn't it? And the Tutsis are the minority, but they're basically like the black people with more like sort of European features. They more came from like Somali. You know what I'm saying? And when they got put in power because they were deemed as like closer to white people. So you know, if you see.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So we don't have like a common ideology that equates to being
Even
black.
that, so there's racism within black.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
People, you know, on ethnic lines
Yeah.
as well. That was, you know what I'm saying? that's also a
But
big.
do you think it's also like the sanctions that they pose on them? Because like obviously like you said, like each country like does some sort of like trade off. Like you give us the food, we give you maybe like the military power you need and stuff like that. So maybe like sometimes maybe we feel like we need what they give us more than.
They
Do you get what I
give
mean?
them-
Yeah.
But they-
And then that's
yeah.
where the imbalance comes from.
I
Do you
think
But
get
we
what I
allow
mean?
that to happen.
And then they use that against us as well because
Yeah.
we can't see our value again. Do you get what
I
I
think,
mean?
I think partially they would move in a way that was conniving that we wouldn't.
Exactly.
So at the beginning of the negotiation, we didn't realize that they were going to cheat us.
Yeah.
And they did, and now it's like a.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. That's why.
Because I don't think it's
Ignorance
just
is
black
bliss.
and white.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Depends how far back you want to go.
Yeah.
To
I don't think it's
really-
black and white because I think there's some African leaders that have tried like to get like our independent like fully,
Yeah.
not just
And
oh
just
Kwame
suddenly
Nkrumah.
died.
fully, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
So-
you go like we have Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso president, you know, the youngest head of state in the world. With my man, you know, and he's really like revolutionary. Like honestly, they've already tried to overthrow him twice, two coup attempts on him, failed two coup attempts. But him, like he's proper like, yeah, man, serious about revolution, you know.
Nice.
And yeah, he's a problem for the West, definitely. But yeah,
That's good.
look, listen, like Africa slowly is rising.
Yeah.
You know, the media are not reporting
Slowly
it,
but surely.
but I think it just speaks to like obviously the lack of like black unity and camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, a code like there has to be, you know what I'm saying, a
facts.
code. And again, it's not like. It's mad. It's not like we're saying this is how every black person works. But, you know, it's not the case. We know black people do look out for each other.
Yeah.
Do you think that's changing though, as like the years have gone by, especially when the whole like BLM thing happened? I know a lot of people say that was a whole scam as well.
Of course
but,
it
like,
is.
do you know what I mean? But like, do you feel like as time has gone on, we are starting to realize like our power and
Yeah.
actually coming more together and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
We're in the age of Aquarius, as you mentioned. So we are like not even just us.
It's a shift of consciousness.
Yeah.
Caucasians,
Exactly.
Dravidians, Asians, everyone's understanding what the hell. Even though I'm ignorant, I understand what's going on in the world. Everyone's waking up.
Yeah, no, we are actually like a
I
big
think-
part of like
yeah.
you know the world.
It's
Like we
happening in
literally make it
Africa.
go
No,
round.
West, it's happening. The people like this is unprecedented. I don't think people are paying attention.
I think it's the
Yeah.
The
internet.
media's not reporting it.
It's,
Listen,
it's the internet because you wouldn't have been able to get outraged about some shit that you didn't know was
Yeah,
happening.
100%.
But now you have Twitter, so everyone can organize as well and
Yeah.
do protests and stuff like that.
100%.
no, definitely. Since when have you seen they're kicking out the French soldiers in Nigeria? Since when have black people done this?
Yeah.
Like, you know, even though they say, "Oh, you got independence and the imperialism," fuck off, man. No, with that. You know what I'm saying? You still got a chokehold on us. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's just that's some facade. Like they want to fucking present to people. Celebrate your independence that we've never given you.
No, it's true, man. But
You want me to fucking go out there and celebrate Congolese independence? What? I'm not going to that. What independence?
yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you talking about? I'll feel like an idiot if I go, sorry, no offense to people that go to these things, innit? But we're not. You know what I'm saying? We're still getting exploited. You know what I'm saying? We still got coup leaders. We still, you know what I'm saying? We're still fucking each other over, man.
Yeah, it's like in the Caribbean as well too, because where I'm from, it's French and Dutch. So I reside on the Dutch side.
Right.
So there's the foreign side as well too.
Right,
so when it happened with COVID, I know it's really touchy topic.
Yeah.
People don't really like expounding upon COVID-19, but come on, guys, we should cross that now and understand that that was a
We
hoax.
got played.
The thing was.
Anyway,
Anyway,
listen, I was out.
well,
anyways,
that's for another day.
Listen,
No.
that's a
We're gonna-
topic. That's a topic to go
Well,
on.
so
So the Dutch side.
So I'm on the Dutch side.
Moving on.
So I'm from the Dutch side as well too. So we're independent obviously from 10-10-10. So we're somewhat running our own country. So
Yeah.
basically it went from we're calling it an island, but now it's a country.
yeah.
So now but the Dutch still plays a small part
Yeah.
in calling shots here and there.
Yeah.
Because when the hurricane took place the couple years ago, guess who came? The Dutch. So they're still like, oh, we'll give you this resources and that resources, and we'll treat you like this
Yeah.
in a certain manner.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like when like some
So
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was something like some leader it was, and he was like, "Oh, I'm giving you guys
Is
this
it aid?
for." No, it was aid, but it was something of like, "Oh, we're apologizing because of the slavery that took place."
Oh, some gesture.
Exactly. I don't even know how it went, but like, don't disrespect me like that. Don't disrespect me like that. Like, and we gotta understand that these individuals are disrespectful. But I'm not saying like I'm just blaming the whole Dutch. Everyone's from the Netherlands. Just that I'm not doing that, but it's just who's controlling and making things set up a way.
It's always the elite. It's the political elite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a handful of people that are in power. They don't actually represent, you know, the thoughts of that nation or the people of that nation. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's,
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's changing, because I think you have maybe the children of these people are more tuned into what's happening to normal people because they just have the internet.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's like maybe when they get into that position, let's say there is some nepotism going on, maybe somehow getting these positions of power later on. Hopefully they'll have more sympathy, or like they'll be more willing to actually make some real progress.
Yeah,
definitely. Guys, what's the plan of action now, man? Because this like murder, it has honestly, there's a different feeling with this one.
I mean, it's 'cause
people are really like affected by this, you know, and rightly so. So like, what is the plan of action? Like, you know, the black community.
The trauma, because if we can't bypass trauma, because remember, who actually sat down with us and gave us the therapy session that we needed? So it's from there who actually sat with us and say, you know what, you guys are really from traumatic experiences. You guys are a certain way. So we haven't got that yet. So where does it start? Who knows when it actually starts? Because
counseling.
We need the most counseling in the world, because
trauma is inherited.
There you go.
Definitely.
So you ask, where do we start?
It might not even necessarily be genetic, but based on, so if your great grandparents were slaves and they raised your parents' parents a certain way because of what they went through, they raised their children a certain way because of what they went through, and then you're being raised a certain way. Like it just gets passed down. Like it's inevitable. But I think it's
on every generation to break the curse.
And I think that's what's happening.
The same way, like obviously I was saying how most of my friends grew up without a father. Now their fathers themselves. Now
so
you know what I'm saying? For their children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think like people really think about that.
I think like just to touch on like what you just said, obviously like breaking the curses, the solution is accountability. Accountability, because like you're not going to go to the therapy session if you haven't realized what's going on with you.
Correct.
Or accepted what's going on with you. The issue is not you. You don't have to be okay. You can accept that you went through some tough stuff and be like, okay, this has happened. I need to be better. This is what's now going on. How are we going to make it better? And I feel like when it comes to, because obviously we were talking about the whole knife crime situation and how it comes to the parents need to realize, okay, I haven't been brought up the best way that I could. I haven't been maybe present for my child the best way that I can. Accept that instead of being, oh, no, but I've done this for my child and they've still gone the wrong way. Because a lot of African parents have that pride as well. Do you get what I mean? So be accountable so that you can change yourself and then ideally change the world around you as well.
Absolutely.
I think we need to be accountable as a community, because I feel like if
100%.
The economy isn't gonna you're still gonna, that single mother is still gonna have to go to work, and she may not always know what her sons are doing or whatever. So like you need the community to be there to like, even if my mom's not around, when I'm outside, I know that grandma or whatever, or this old woman that I usually see around is gonna check me if I'm doing some nonsense. Like these older men around as part of the community our mentors somehow.
Yeah. It's policing our own
Yeah,
communities, really.
behaviours,
It's that
yeah.
easier said than done.
Of
really.
course.
Yeah.
Of course
You
it
can't-
is. Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, like what happens behind closed doors is what happens. But
Exactly.
we can't control that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can try. Definitely, you can try. Because you could, you
No,
you,
that's what.
you have to think.
Yeah. So there has to
Like-
be exactly accountability. You know, from the parents or the parent, like in that house. I just think a lot of parents are just irresponsible.
Yeah.
They are. Like I don't think nobody like intends on being a bad parent
Or
or
they
intends
just
on
don't.
failing your kids. But there are bad parents out there.
Yeah.
They just are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? They just are.
Yeah, sure.
You know, this is the problem. And a lot of like parents just allow certain you know what I'm saying, they pay a blind eye
Yeah.
to when kids are, you know what I'm saying, are behaving a
Yeah.
certain way. Oh no, that could never be my son.
Yeah.
I'm saying my children's perfect. No.
No.
Like,
You don't know him when it's not there.
no,
do you?
man.
do you know what I'm
Sure.
saying? You know? So like and obviously, bro, a lot of people like a lot of men emotionally they're just they can't
Yeah.
control that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't control that, and I think a lot of that is also, I think, you know, down to the fact that a lot of men that haven't had a father figure, you know, it's just been like you and your mum,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and again, you need, you know, it's a joint effort. I think,
Yeah.
you know, if you just been raised, you know,
Yeah.
by a woman as a single man, a single boy, you know,
You're not taught the same kind of stoicism and stuff.
you know what I'm saying? That can lead to like so many things, innit? So yeah, man, it's just it's sad, man. And again, R.I.P. to
Mm-hmm.
Elianne, Andam, and again send our love and condolences, you know, to her family, you know. So yeah, so I think this is a time for like the community to reflect, man. To conflict, so
And make change.
yeah, no, most definitely. So yeah,
And just care more. Practice more empathy.
The
yeah.
music, at least let's start talking about the music, how it's actually keep going directly to the youths as well too. The music, what we saw, seeing on TikTok, Instagram, and all of this as well too, it plays a vital role of what needs to be changed as well
so
too.
the government can do more, basically.
Well, it's just-
in other words, because
Just not the government as well, because like we said, accountability. It's us as
in
well
terms
too.
of content, I'm saying.
They ain't gonna do that.
You don't want them
You
to
should remember
know
the
they ain't
government
gonna
that
do
But you
they
don't want
can
them.
censor so much that
They can.
they do censor when it comes to certain things.
And they show,
or you know what I'm
show
saying?
certain
It's on
things.
certain
Yeah,
content.
certain
Well,
things,
Why is it this still like
I wouldn't say it's like
glorification of certain things?
these guys get promoted by major. They get signed and their music gets promoted by major labels.
Mm.
It's not necessarily them paying for these extravagant music videos and stuff. And
No.
so it's like
But it's not going to be the government funding that. It's private companies that are funding that.
yeah. So we need to either decide not to consume it or consume it in
Never
a
happen.
healthier way,
Yeah.
and then promote music that promotes healthier practices.
Yeah.
But then
And lifestyle.
you're not gonna listen to songs that say do yoga once a week, go for a run.
I would.
I mean, if it
And
has,
meditation, I
if
would.
it has a good beat, because there's conscious rap
You
though.
can't exactly. You can't
Yeah, but
underestimate.
see,
what I mean?
But we all like a bit of ignorance, though. We all like
Exactly,
a bit of.
exactly. I'm not.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm not listening to.
At the end of the day, I
Fiasco
don't
in the
think
gym.
you can put it down to a song like
Yeah,
you know
you can't.
for killing someone or you know what I'm saying. It can put you in a certain mind state. You know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
remember obviously man when you know what I'm saying. Man was at the height of all that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying. Yeah, the songs. You get me. The songs are just you're living this. You're listening to the song.
Mm.
You don't even know it subconsciously. Of course, it is influencing.
And the
Like,
frequency.
how you're thinking and what you're doing and how
The frequency
it
of
is.
it,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I use it in the gym, I move the weights and I'm done. But if you're using it and like you don't have a release for it or like the energy that it gives you,
There you go.
Yeah.
because that kind of music gives you energy.
Yes.
That the way they talk,
Correct.
the way the beat is. I don't know if you can rap
So-
about anything else on a beat
Yeah.
like that.
Trust
So-
me. So
Yeah, you can. You got people out here rapping about God.
yeah, that,
Oh,
Beats
yeah,
like
of
that.
course,
In essence, yeah.
of course.
In essence, yeah.
So like, his friends should have sold him. Good luck in prison. You know what I'm saying? And you have been ejected for being black, man. We don't. We've disowned you. We disowned you, man, for that murder right there, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just for the record, gotta put that out there, man. You get me? That's a degenerate, right there.
Yeah.
You know?
But even saying that as well too, we don't want individuals to actually look at this show and say like, just because individuals who are committing these crimes, we're disowning them. We're not disowning them. We're actually like we're frowning upon that situation.
Do better.
Done.
Do better.
Exactly.
Do better.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. Innit? You can't save everybody.
I agree.
You cannot save everyone.
But give
People
them a
like-
chance
you know
to
what
be
I'm saying?
saved.
Exactly.
Give them a chance to be saved.
Exactly.
Give them a chance. Well, sometimes you don't get a second chance.
Sometimes you don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
and you
Second
ruined
chance.
your own. You fucked up your own
Yeah.
life now. You know. Now you got to
Yeah.
deal with what's the repercussions of your actions now.
100%.
And just
Yeah.
like the same way that I've had to in life, going in and out of jail, and there's certain things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? Being stabbed and doing certain things. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not gonna get into it because I'm not trying to glorify anything.
Correct,
But
yeah.
it's like, you know, lucky. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I'm not doing life in prison like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people I know. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some people just do want, and you're done. It's Hunger Games.
Finish.
Yeah.
If you're involved in this, you know what I'm saying? And you, look, this is what is even like a gang-related situation, and still.
Yeah, that's what's mad
mentality.
about it.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
mentality.
what's
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Do you think
Correct.
that knife was really for her? Like when he stepped out? Do you know what I'm saying? He probably
No,
has
it
enemies.
wasn't.
Yeah, you know, but you can't control your you know what I'm saying? Your feelings. Like, what the fuck? You do something like that? Like, that's man. You're a tramp. Like my GLC said, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Young Spray put up the video on his podcast, innit? And Black GLC was like, bro, that's champy behaviour, man. We got to call this up for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
it's not
And I'm
cool.
like, what the fuck? Like, it's it's a mad thing. It is a mad thing. So yeah, no, thank you for tuning in. It's your boy B Yaks, and thank you for your contribution today, guys.
Of course.
Thank you for
It's
having
been a
me.
pleasure having
Anytime.
you on. You're gonna be seeing these people a lot more flying the wall moving forward. So yeah, so just subscribe, like, share. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the message out there. You know, our thing is just different. It's unique. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Flying the wall perspective. Done now. Out.
Okay.